Before the sun, there is the breath, a slow, cool exhalation from the world's greatest forest, a vapor that hangs in the air, thick with the scent of damp earth, sweet decay, and night-blooming jasmine. This is the Amazon, waking from its slumber, a world that measures time not in hours, but in the patient unfurling of a fern, in the slow, inexorable growth of a saber tree, in the steady, rhythmic pulse of life itself. Here, in the pre-dawn stillness, the air is a living entity. It's heavy, not just with water but with stories. The air is a symphony of whispers, a chorus of a billion unseen lives beginning their day. The rustle of a leaf is not just the wind, but the passage of an ocelot, a creature of the night, retreating to its den. The distant guttural roar is not thunder, but a howler monkey, a living siren, greeting the first hint of light from its treetop perch. Every sound is a story, every shadow a mystery waiting to be solved. This is a realm born of water and light, a sprawling living cathedral of green that stretches from the snow-dusted spine of the Andes to the salty shores of the Atlantic. It is a basin so vast it could swallow nations, a single contiguous forest that generates its own weather, its own seasons. The moisture rising from its countless leaves, a process called transpiration, forms colossal flying rivers in the atmosphere, clouds that will travel thousands of miles to water a continent. It is the planet's green lung, its beating heart, a force of nature so powerful it shapes the climate of the entire world. To comprehend its scale is to grapple with infinity. From this height, it appears as a uniform carpet of green, but this is an illusion. Down there is a complex, multi-layered world of unimaginable diversity. This is not a forest, but a world of green without end. An ocean of trees, standing shoulder to shoulder for thousands of miles, their crowns forming a second world, a vibrant, bustling city in the sky. This canopy is a world unto itself, teeming with life that may never touch the dark and quiet forest floor. And flowing through it all, the great river, the Amazon. Not just a river, but a liquid continent, a network of veins and arteries carrying life, sediment, and stories to every corner of this vast green body. Born from the glacial melt of the Andes, it begins as a trickle, a whisper of water high in the Peruvian mountains. It gathers strength, fed by 1,100 tributaries, many of which are mighty rivers in their own right. It swells into a force that, during the wet season, can be 30 miles wide. Its discharge into the ocean so powerful, it pushes fresh water 100 miles out to sea. Its voice is ancient, a low murmur that has echoed through these trees for over 10 million years. It speaks of deep time, of epochs of growth and decay, of the rise and fall of species. These are the ancient voices of the Amazon, the rush of water, the groan of shifting earth, the sigh of wind through a trillion leaves. They are the echoes of civilizations that rose and fell along these banks, leaving behind only faint traces in the enriched soil. It is a living library of sound, a history told not in words, but in the eternal hum of life. In a world so dense, so overwhelmingly green, survival depends on being seen or not being seen. On the forest floor, camouflage is king. The mottled brown of a dead leaf is, in fact, a perfectly disguised toad. The vine hanging from a branch is a snake, waiting patiently for its prey. But high above, in the sun-drenched canopy, a different strategy prevails. Here, color becomes a language. It is a dialect spoken by flowers to lure in specific pollinators, a warning shouted by the skin of a tiny frog, a declaration of territory painted on the wings of a morpho butterfly. It is the flash of emerald from a hummingbird, the startling orange of a toucan's beak, the deep, velvety black of a jaguar's coat, punctuated by rosettes of gold. Color is currency. It is a signal of health, of toxicity, of desire. But no creature speaks this language more fluently, more extravagantly than the one that wears the colors of the sunrise itself. a living jewel, a fragment of the rainbow taken flight. It begins as a flicker in the canopy, a sudden, impossible burst of pigment against the endless green. A sound, a raucous, joyful shriek that cuts through the hum of the forest, announces its arrival before it is even seen. Then the revelation. The red, blue and gold flash of wings that pierce the morning light. A streak of cobalt, a slash of crimson, a blaze of sun yellow. These are not just colors, they are a proclamation, a statement of presence, of vitality, of life lived at its most intense. They are a bold, unapologetic celebration of existence in a world of constant competition. These are the macaws. They are the soul of the Amazon made visible, the spirit of the rainforest given wings. To see them is to witness a masterpiece of evolution, a perfect marriage of form and function. Their feathers, a marvel of structural color, are designed not just for flight, but for display, for communication, for a life lived out in the open, high above the forest floor. They are symbols, yes, but they are so much more. They are thinking, feeling beings, with complex social lives and deep emotional bonds that are the very foundation of their world. They are symbols of freedom. Their daily flights can cover hundreds of square miles, a testament to their power and endurance. Their wings, broad and powerful, are built for long-distance travel, carrying them from feeding grounds to roosting sites across a vast and trackless wilderness. They are the masters of this aerial kingdom, soaring with a grace and confidence that speaks of a life without boundaries, a life lived on the wing. They are symbols of devotion. Macaws form pair bonds that can last for their entire 50-year lifespan, a partnership of profound loyalty and affection. They are rarely seen apart, a constant presence at each other's side. They communicate with a constant stream of soft calls, clicks and gestures, a private language of intimacy. They tenderly preen each other's feathers, reinforcing a bond that is the anchor of their existence. They raise their young together, defend their territory together, and face the challenges of the forest as an inseparable unit. And they are symbols of intelligence. Their minds are sharp, inquisitive. They possess a remarkable capacity for problem-solving, a memory that allows them to map vast territories of fruiting trees, remembering which ones will be ripe and when. They can use tools, stripping leaves from a twig to scratch an itch. Their complex vocal repertoire goes far beyond simple calls. They have distinct vocalizations for food, for predators, for greeting their mate. They are playful, curious, and deeply aware. To look into the eye of a macaw is to feel a sense of connection, to recognize a spark of consciousness looking back. But their story is not their own. It is woven, inextricably, into the fabric of the forest itself. They are keystone species, the gardeners of the Amazon. Their powerful beaks are one of the few tools in nature capable of cracking open the toughest nuts and fruits. As they travel, they disperse the seeds of these trees far and wide, planting the future forest. The very survival of many tree species depends entirely on these winged couriers. The health of their populations is a direct indicator of the health of the entire ecosystem. Where the macaws fly, the forest is strong. Where their calls fall silent, the forest is in peril. Their story, then, is the story of the forest itself. Wild, a force of untamed, primal nature that has resisted domestication for eons. Beautiful, in its infinite complexity, its fractal patterns, and its dazzling, sometimes deadly displays of life. And fragile, more fragile than its immense scale would suggest. For this ancient world, which has stood for millions of years, now faces unprecedented challenges from a world away. The vibrant colors of the macaw are a banner of defiance, a symbol of all that is precious and all that stands to be lost. Their flight is a prayer for the future of this forest, their call a plea for its survival. To follow their journey is to understand the delicate balance that sustains this entire world. It is to witness a life of struggle, of triumph, of profound connection, set against the backdrop of the greatest and most threatened wilderness on Earth. This is the Wild Amazon, Life of the Macaw. If you enjoyed this journey into the Wild Amazon, please like, subscribe and share to support more nature documentaries. Join us in protecting the wonders of our planet.